such a unique little character. It's mesmerizing. Anyway, I forgot.
Wow. Wow.
We
did the vertical live stream.
We
thing.
did.
We stuck to our guns, and we did that. That's kind of cool.
That's a pat. It's a real pat on the back moment. That's a real way to go, guys. Way to go. You did it.
to many chagrin, we still did it. So I'm happy about that.
But listen. Just because we are vertical does not mean that our pain and sadness is not deep and wide right now. We are just absolutely swimming in it.
Oh my god! So let me give you a little of my day. For those that don't know, Katie's dad stayed over last night. You know, this man has been look at Nick, worst format ever. You're the comic book guy, Nick. So Katie's dad. He's long story short, he's finally out of the place he's been staying at for a long time. And here he is. He went and stayed the night with us last night. He's been out for about 2 weeks now. But I watched. He has no idea what Bad Batch was, and so we watched the finale together. And even he teared up a little bit from this mug,
dude. So I was gonna say he was baptized by fire, watching Star Wars with you on the like. I just can't only imagine, man.
He watched this morning's Mandalorian with me too. So I woke up at 4:15. So I am, and I honestly, not even kidding. I told Jerry this. I just woke up from the most impromptu nap of my entire life.
we both punked out in the middle of the afternoon here.
Oh
so
my
listen,
God.
guys. When you listen, I hear when you're going through grief and things like that. Not grief karga. I don't want to ever go. I don't even want to process going through grief karga. High magistrate, great grief karga. But when you're going through the actual process of grief, the kind that it involves counseling. I don't even know where I'm going with this anymore. I've lost track because there's just been so much. Scotty, I cried so much this morning.
It was a hell of a day.
Why?
Okay. Before we go any further, probably
there will be spoilers, by the way. There will be spoilers, of course. Those who are just joining.
This was the same level of ball dropping and unbelievable shock as the Rebels season 2 finale. That's what this felt like. I was coming down from such a weird place this morning. I was emotional. I was ecstatic because the writing for next season, there's so much potential to do insane stuff now.
Yes. Dude, the highest of highs and the lowest of lows this morning. I mean, I don't know if it's healthy. It's like taking uppers and downers. I don't know Star Wars legally if you can do that to nerds. You shouldn't be able to do that to nerds.
No.
To just absolutely send us to the heights of ecstasy and absolutely kick us.
I'm telling you.
With the steel toe boot. I mean, come on.
So before we go any further, obviously, we've been lucky enough to cover Bad Batch.
Yes.
Every Wednesday, these past...
We did it.
God, we did it. Let's look at the graphic. Look at this. We covered every one of these right here. Look at this.
Every single.
We did about, what is that, 14 live streams on Wednesday. It's a lot of live streams for us. It's incredible.
So beginning, put that up again real quick. So the beginning of this season versus where we are now, Scotty. Mentally, do you remember where you were at the beginning of this? I remember we were so psyched for weeks about meeting the wonderful, whimsical, magical Pabu.
yes, which did not come to fruition.
No, and because I think we were expecting like a what was the Rain Corps they saved last season? I think we were expecting that sort of situation.
Yeah.
But what we got was probably one of the single best seasons of animated Star Wars, if maybe not even just Star Wars in general television.
So well done. Gotta love that.
It went so hard almost every episode. I mean, we had some light fun stuff at the first half of the season, but that back half was just right. That back half was just packed with human moments, fun Star Wars moments, like some of the coolest, like that last episode where they like are Echo and Gregor and the rest of the clones are like in their Millennium Falcon, dude.
Yeah, I still would contend that the Clone Conspiracy and the Truth and Consequence episodes are maybe some of the best Star Wars TV of all time.
Yeah,
like they were perfection.
It's top.
So all that being said, it's been a wild ride emotionally this season. I knew in my gut this would end in some sort of tragedy. Watching the summit, I had no idea. What a cool play on words. I thought it'd be like the summit of Mount Tantus. That's what I was convinced.
Right.
They're going to Tantus. They're saving Crosshair. But all the
red herring, if you will.
And how great was Eriadu? That was amazing. Great Rogue One tie-in. I freaked out this one. I'm like, no way.
Eriadu, yeah. Well, like Eriadu isn't even. It's mentioned, right? They don't go to Eriadu in Rogue One.
No, I thought the planet. I thought that was the outpost planet. Is it not?
I don't. Is it? I don't like in the chat. Tell us if it. I don't think it is. Cause I know Eriadu is Tarkin's homeworld.
Wait a minute, I'm confused.
For sure.
I thought Eriadu. Hold on, no, Edu.
Edu, Edu is where they go. Yes. Yeah, Edu. Eriadu is Tarkin's homeworld. So this is Tarkin's home planet. If you've read the comics or like the Tarkin novelization,
I'm looking at that.
Yeah, the Tarkin novelization. I don't think we've seen it actually in like at all, except for on the comic page.
Well, this is blowing my mind. I didn't realize that.
This is what a nap right before a stream will do to you as well.
Yeah, I guess you're right. God bless.
No, you're good.
So, what a cool drop. So we finally got Tarkin's homeworld. There we go. Edu is everything here. See, that was my mistake. Good Lord.
They are so similar. They are so similar.
Thank God this is the last one. Look at Sean.
It's totally fair.
I agree.
Sean's got our back.
Yeah, Sean's got our back. Unlike our friend Brian Hennessy. What a joke. No. So I'm watching this episode and they show this planet. And I'm like, this is a beautiful planet. I mean, it's cloudy. It's like mountain peaks.
Yeah.
And literally, like I said, I thought it was going to be the summit of Mount Tantus. I thought it was going to be like some sort of mountain play on words. But what? I really was.
If that's possible, we will do it. We will do it.
Just no. Watching it though, watching this whole thing play out, right? I was shocked that we were going to go where we went. There was a rail car stuff, and you even knew from the beginning, like that's trouble. That's the only way in, the only way out. Like, it's trouble. That's
the way.
Good.
Oh man,
that's what I thought when I first saw it. And Tech is the only one that could work on it. I'm like, this is.
They were telegraphing it and everything. You didn't even see it.
I guess we can just get into the spoiler.
I don't know, man. We need to just get the elephant. Like we need to uncover the elephant in the room.
They gave Tech so much opportunity, which is what made it brutal to watch. Like, you know what I mean? Or you're watching this and you're like, Tech has had all the big beats, and like even Hunter and Wrecker both had pretty big beats at one point. I'm like, God, they really gonna go all out with this.
Wrecker, they had some legit so they took my they took my defenses down a little bit because they had that moment at the beginning where they're like, it has to be timed perfectly, and they all look back at Wrecker. Great comedic moment. There's the time where like they're in the base, Wrecker steps on the mouse droid and it stuck to his, like he stepped in a effing tissue box or something, like get it off. But yeah, no, so I mean, even right down to the end, whenever Tech, they get him up on top of the rail, right? The whole way he's going, I'm like, I don't think he's coming back, man. This is like, how is he going to get back? How is he going to get back? And then they gave you hope because he's like, he uses his grappling gun because whenever he had to jump from the thing to the platform,
I know.
I was like, he's done for.
Yeah,
he's done for.
This is it.
But then they gave us hope, and then only to take it away, Jurassic Park: The Lost World style.
Yes.
I was expecting something like that. If you've seen Jurassic Park: The Lost World, you know where they have the double RV and half of it's hanging off the cliff. Oh man, I wanted that so bad. I wanted it so bad.
So let me ask you this. You're watching this whole episode. It's a two-parter, and it's very much a two-parter. You're watching it, and like the whole first episode goes by. Nothing really bad happens except for the Saw Gerrera stuff, which was a absolute just. Was it the first episode or the second episode? I don't even remember.
That was the first episode. So when they're infiltrating the base and they're like, all these cameras are off.
Yeah.
God,
that's such a cool moment. And we were introduced though to Saw at the very beginning of the first season, so it's not crazy. And when they notice him, they're like, Saw?
Well, and like it goes on that whole the lore that we've read now in like the Rogue One visual dictionary and stuff about how, and like in just different media that talks about Saw. Saw was like the first character to make the transition from like animation to live action.
Yes.
And here he is. We're getting that. I forget where it was where like it says this specifically, but it talks about how he's basically been there was no break for him. He went immediately from fighting the Separatists to fighting the Empire.
Yeah, and he's also a guerrilla warrior, so he's kind of he's got a little bit more of an edge to him, unlike most of our protagonists' approach to things. He's a lot more unpredictable in the sense of
a little less edge to him this time. It felt like I feel like Saw this is very early Saw, right? I feel like the Saw more towards Rogue One, or at least in Rebels, would have probably gunned all of the clones down right there.
Regardless of what they were doing. That's probably right. I wouldn't disagree with that, if I'm going to be honest. That's a good point.
But it was just really interesting. I'm loving that we're getting that too, that we're seeing a little bit of Saw. And I wish we could have seen who was with him. I know they're just like a couple of his people. Probably no one we know. But it was just interesting to get that. Also, what I noted, this is probably chronologically the first time in new canon that we've seen a rebel dressing disguising themselves as a stormtrooper.
Good point. Okay,
as soon as it happened, I was like, oh, this is momentous. This is it's not the first time we've seen it, obviously, but it is supposed to technically be it's the earliest version we have.
Wait, that's actually really
of them
funny.
Doing that.
Did they ever put any stormtrooper outfits on, or no? I guess not.
I don't remember. Right. I don't remember. But no, because they've always had their clone armor and stuff. But
true.
They introduced the stormtrooper armor at the end of last season, and then it's kind of been very sporadically thrown throughout the season until like you said, Truth and Consequences. But dude, how awesome was it though to see like the what is it the Coruscant Guard style stormtroopers?
Oh, so cool!
Like just that Macquarie style armor. I love the TK troopers.
I wonder if they'll do more of that in different areas of canon, because those helmets.
I hope so.
I think I have my stormtrooper. Yeah, here it is. It looks just like it. Looks incredible.
Yeah. I want it in live action.
The shields. Yeah, I want it live action too. And
so yeah, give him the shields and like a little not a lightsaber, but just like like something similar to that.
So I wanted to bring this up.
We'll get to it, Sean. We'll get to it, Sean.
I love the fact that the summit, I think I said it 15 times earlier. I'm just trying to get my brain back to it.
The summit
was a play on the words, but I didn't realize it's like, I'm sorry, Tarkin would not have wanted this any other way, because this is like something you planned for months, to have all these high-ranking, super top secretive missions and meetings, because like Tarkin's like, no, if we don't do this now, nothing's gonna get done. You've got Krennic there, you've got even the kind of weird fat guy that answers to Tarkin in Rogue One, the guy that has like the weird haircut. He's kind of like he's kind of like a bigger guy, like a bigger.
Oh, that was guy. Who that was, wasn't it?
That was the one that goes
talking.
That's exactly what that was, because I was like, that's a weird body shape, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's that guy that's kind of like Tarkin's bitch in Rogue One.
I didn't place that. I was trying to figure out. What I thought seems similar.
Instantly.
It might be. Yeah. That's.
It just looked like that kind of guy.
Yeah.
I was watching that, and then when they showed, dude, Hemlock is a dark dude. Hemlock, it may be one of the most vile Star Wars villains of all time. When he was like, "We've got several clones," and he's like, And even Tarkin's like, wouldn't it be? What did he say?
No, it was the guy you were talking about. It's Tarkin's bitch.
He said,
yeah.
Cool. It shows that obviously they have a form of conscience, like they get right from wrong, but Hemlock is like, they're properties of the Empire now, and I'm like,
it's honestly so. Let's just say Andor's not the only Star Wars really touching how things go in the real physical world. That's 100%. People will do backflips to make things. They'll if just saying something about, like, if we just mention that this is really kind of an icky idea, even if we do it, that means we're in the moral high ground, right?
Oh yeah,
kind of a thing. Because like it was that guy, it was that one dude, and the other one that they were both kind of like, we fought by the clones. Like, what are we doing? I loved Tarkin's like, I fought by the clones as well. Like Tarkin's that dude who you think you're in good with him, and then he will sell you out
at heartbeat.
He doesn't give a shit. And he's like, I worked with the clones and I found that they were a little too individualistic or something. Yes,
and the Jedi promoted their individualism. That's something else he said.
Just like it's feeding that company line, that imperial GOP propaganda. Kind of shit. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I don't mean to get political. Star Wars isn't political.
No, not at all. But you watch this, and obviously what they're doing in this show is way different than Clone Wars, way different than Rebels. Rebels didn't have to tie anything up really, because it was all these new characters. Clone Wars necessarily didn't have to tie anything up, because that's what Revenge of the Sith does. Clone Wars just had to tie up Clone Wars. Now we are blessed with this weird era where Bad Batch is it's tying up the mysteries of the sequel trilogy, which is not even in the same era. And you're watching it and you're going
decades before.
It's decades before. And I'm
50 years before.
It's amazing. I'm sitting here watching this show going, they're managing to do something so creative and new in terms of Star Wars storytelling that I'm just like, I'm literally begging on my knees. Like, I hope we get more news at Bad Batch or Celebration this year. Like, I can't wait.
We will. Oh my God. There's a reason it ended the week before Celebration. I'm telling you, there's going to be a huge panel.
I bet they animated seasons 2 and 3 consecutively. I bet we're going to see Bad Batch season 3 way sooner than we expect. Like, I bet it's already in
that's
in
a good prediction, and I want it because of where we leave off. Not to not get too far, I want to jump back real quick. Like what you were mentioning, Hemlock, and how you feel like he's the most vile villain. We got T.W. McKay in the chat. Yes. Here we go. Let me bring up the when Hemlock tossed Hunter takes. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. That's the wrong one. Is that the? Oh, he's quickly becoming one of my favorite Star Wars villains. Hemlock. I was just talking about this with our good friend and friend of the show, Alden Diaz.
Oh, wonderful.
We were talking about how it really is. He is like the Joseph Mengele of the Empire, and he is there's something in just the few episodes he's been in. He's one of the most heinous, hateable, good villains that we've had in forever. It's so evil, so vile. And again, the guy, like we were saying, he doesn't have to lift a finger. He doesn't. He kind of just does, or just with his words and everything. And it seems like he's a real believer.
Oh yeah.
In what the Emperor wants to do, which we get, like you were kind of saying, we're tying the sequel trilogy together. We pretty much got confirmation the end of this episode, right? That is what they're working on. What what the Emperor wants is impossible.
Yes. What a great line. And the fact that they have the Kaminoans there, you can do so much whenever you take the time to flesh out like a bigger idea and a bigger I guess a bigger thematic purpose. Like, yes, Bad Batch could have easily have been the A-team of Star Wars, and it has been for a good chunk of it. But also, it hasn't been. It's been so much deeper than that. It's been, and I get criticisms. I will say there's some things like, yeah, I understand when it comes to certain shows and how people feel about them. But like subtextually, I mean, you're getting like a Legends level story, but for animated TV, and it's not done poorly. It's done very well, and I agree. You know, the fact that there's like this whole. The Empire really has got so much going on.
Andy, our friend, we love you. We love you. I know we are all going through it right now. Oh my God.
So I guess we can skedaddle through it. Saul showing up. The summit was actually like a meeting. It wasn't just an email or like a play on Mount Tantus, which I thought it would be. But
we got Krennic, right?
We got Krennic. Amazing. Got a line from Krennic too. Probably the best part of Rogue One. I love Orson Krennic. So it's amazing.
Yeah.
Step by step, heart to heart, toy soldiers. We all found toy soldiers. So here we are. They're on the rail cart, Jerry. Saw Gerrera just blows at the base, and the episode's ending
by the way,
all of them. Yeah.
Their escape, or like Saw's escape, the music cue that Kevin Kiner gave to them. Ooh. How great was the music in both of these? I mean, the entire season, it's been fantastic. Give Kevin Kiner a Star Wars movie, a live action. Not that it, I'm not trying to say that live action's better, but let this man score a feature film.
I agree. It's long overdue. Or a TV or a live action show.
Well, I mean, even that, like, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, Kevin Kiner, I mean, he's already got this good gig doing pretty much all of the animated shows. But Kevin Kiner and the way he scores Star Wars,
beautiful.
It feels the closest to George that we've had in the new era with everyone who's tried it. And I'm not trying to say, like, like
John Powell, Natalie Holt.
All fantastic. And they all brought their own flavor. And Kevin does too. But it's got that, I don't even know how to describe it. It's got that magical feel to it.
It does.
Like the music in this episode felt like the original trilogy in a way. Like it felt like that original trilogy, like kind of style, like that. It felt like Rebels music a little bit. But I don't even know.
God.
I'm spiraling at this point.
No.
The music was so damn good.
It felt huge. Like the music was louder than the sound effects at some points. And whenever you mix things like that, there's something that comes out like at a deeper level. Like when the music is louder than the action, like it tells you what to be worried about. And of course, them ending up on the zip line or the rail cart, whatever you want to call it. Right. He said this. They love the references to the Tarkin novel. The whole bit with the ski lift felt very Where Eagles Dare.
Yes.
Or to Spy Movie with Clint Eastwood. I haven't seen that. But
I was like the Tarkin novel. I need to reread that because
look at Jerry's haircut, by the way. Look how stunning.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I got mine today too. Look, I thinned mine out. It's nice.
Look at that, guys. Look, we're trimming it up and everything. Mine's kind of like going all over the place right now.
Ready for the wedding.
I'm not sure I got a cut, but yeah, wedding ready. Bombad wedding ready.
By the way, that's something to get excited about. So, they're on the rail cart. At what point is your heart saying? Like, what is your heart telling you when the episode ended, when the summit ended? And they're like,
the summit?
Yeah, when the summit ended and Plan 99 started to begin.
I mean, at the time, I was just like, "Oh man, it's
bad.
It's bad, but it's also it was such a great everything aesthetically about these 2 episodes. I mean, this whole season in general, it was so cool. I love that now we are they're pretty much just against TK Stormtroopers now.
Yes.
It kind of takes away, I think, some of their guilt of firing on their brothers or whatever.
Yeah.
Because you notice they went in guns blazing.
Yes,
I mean,
they
didn't. They set to kill. They were in and out, trying to get in and out. But like the fight that they had when there's like just on the other car down the hallway, they have the stormtroopers. I loved that. I don't know. That just felt brutal. So Star Wars, so Indiana Jones. Just oh man, like a Western kind of feel too.
The zip line breaks or whatever the electrical surge happens. And it stopped.
Oh man,
I was like, oh, why?
Oh, and then you've got those other troopers on the other one, and it feels a lot like Solo, the way they've got like the top and bottom cars. Man. Oh God. Man. They were spectacularly violent. They were sure, violent. Andy. Absolutely. Agree. Oh,
Troy, what'd you think?
Troy, how are you doing, man? How you doing? Listen, in a week, like about a couple hours from now, in a week, I will give you a hug personally, because of tech. Yeah.
Boop just texted me, and I won't mute it. I'll cover my mouth though. Boop said, "Go fuck yourself. Rogue One is dope as hell." Thank you, Boop. Look,
honestly, maybe the more they add, maybe this will do for Scotty what the Clone Wars did for all of those angry assholes in the 2000s for the prequels.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
This will do that for Scotty. Who knows? We'll make a believer out of him someday. Who knows? Well, I mean, just again, like so we've already been. I mean, Krennic was a really cool drop that we had in there. It did feel there was a lot of Rogue One vibes. I don't know. There was something about the score when Saw's leaving and like the turrets are firing after them.
Yes,
that felt very Rogue One to me.
Oh,
I need a hug too, Troy. I need a hug too. This is we are this is therapy hour right here.
So
this is what
know what my brain went through, but I realized Jin wasn't old enough. I thought one of Saw's middle child or soldiers was going to be Jyn Erso. That would have been cool, but it wouldn't have been the right timeline because it would have because she would have still been a really little kid. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I was hoping that. I know that's silly, but that's what my brain was doing math that early.
No, my brain immediately went to whenever I heard it was a female voice. I did go to Jin, but then I was like, no, brain, no. Time does not work that way. Time is a flat circle, but it is not. Yeah. No, it is not that relative.
Time is a flat circle.
Time is very relative in Star Wars. Like it really doesn't matter. No. Listen, all the last 2 episodes of the last 3 or 4 episodes of Bad Batch could have happened over 2 years, and we would not know. It's just the nature of time in Star Wars, but that cannot be Jyn Erso.
Look at Andy throwing shade at Mandalorian. Andy, real quick, regardless if that does happen, I'd watch whatever show they put out. If they put out a show called The Book of, I don't know, Echo's Journals or something
stupid. The Book of Echo's Journals?
I would watch Echo's Journals so I know what the next part of the story is going to be. It wouldn't be anything. I would watch the High Republic show with the little blue damn teddy bear. And hopefully they'll tell me Echo's story. Look, if it told me Echo's story, I'd watch it. You keep don't throw shade.
That's how we're
shade. I'll watch whatever Star Wars puts out, even if it doesn't have the same title or doesn't even have the same beats. I'll watch
I am now begging for them to make the story of Echo or Omega detrimental to the High Republic so that Scotty will actually crack one open, please.
Whatever the blue, what's it called? Nibbles? What the hell that damn blue bear is?
Nibbles?
Nibbles?
It's Nibbles. No, it's Nibbles. Yeah.
I'm going to find a picture of Nibbles.
I just said that
this is actually pretty. Jerry may be the can junkie, but we're all Jerry junkies.
Oh, whatever.
Jerry,
whatever.
I think for you, we've always brought in your daughter Eleanor into all this. I get it. I don't mean to do it,
right?
But I only got emotional about what happened when I had to watch it through her eyes. And for a child, for Omega, that it's been, you know, who's already been through a lot as a kid, I had to watch Omega go through something really horrible this episode. And like, you're right. They're setting up the moment for Tech. Tech's on this other cart. He's far away. He's got the grappling hook. Maybe there's a chance. Yeah. And then when the chance is not really the case, and he hooks, and he's the reason the whole cart's falling. And every time Wrecker takes a step, the cart goes on the thing. I'm like,
yeah.
How are they gonna pull this off?
It's
and I'm like, there's no
man,
way. And he can see him through the grate. He's like, Plan 99.
Again, stop it. Plan 99.
And what is Plan 99? Is it just like one of us has to be sacrificed?
I think it's I have to do it. I have to sacrifice myself because one of us has to go for the rest of us to survive. There's no other way out. And it's bad for the Bad Batch to be like that, because I feel like the Bad Batch are the dudes who are like, no, we figure out some harebrained scheme every time. And here we go. We're at this point. You're talking about Omega, and like to talk about Omega, and again, the perspective of watching this as a parent of a cisgender girl, child. There's a lot of emotions.
Yeah,
she's one of the ones to run up and look down, right? Mm-hmm. To run up and look down and see Tech down there, like she's right there with Wrecker. And you like you're saying, he says Plan 99. And what is it? Is it Wrecker saying no, we're not doing that or something? And he goes, when have we ever followed orders? And shoots and severs the line. By the way, horrible, tragic. But this is the saddest since Jedi Knight, the episode of Rebels. But one of that was still kind of a last wink nod badass moment. Not that you need to be a badass or whatever, but that was
no.
That was such a triumphant, like, I'm doing this because I'm gonna make myself cry.
Yeah,
that was such a. He was so confident in I love you guys. When have we ever listened to orders? I want y'all to go on.
Yeah.
Oh God, man, y'all. Scotty's usually the one crying on stream, but I'm about to I'm losing it right now.
Well, what works so well is the emphasis on, like, if he had not done it, they would all be screwed.
That's true, Troy. That's true. They had that conversation. I had it in the back of my brain too from there.
So you're watching this thing play out, and like every step one further, and then when he shoots it and severs it, and like, I'm never one to be like, he shouldn't come back, but at this point I think it'd be really impactful. Like, it'd be really cool, like, figuring out of characters if this character doesn't come back. And when he does, like when you saw the rail cart fall, I was like, it's like thousands of feet. Like there's
and it's rocks
and shit, and it's rocks. Like there's just no way. Like
hold on. So like let's give some I would love to still talk about a little bit of Omega's processing of that grief and make myself hurt even more. But real quick, let's give Tech his due here with some of these, like, people are honoring Tech in the chat. Here we go. Let's see. Andy, our friend Andy, by the way, go follow Andy on all social medias. They are fantastic. He's nerdy. He was still Tech. He ran the numbers, saw the math. He knew the solution. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. He was still nerdy, but also badass, like you said. Yes.
Yeah.
And again, not necessarily like bad. Like, and again, badass to me is not like a dude who doesn't feel shit and who goes around like, uncaring. This is badass to me. Someone who makes a choice like that out of love for your family. I'm gonna make a mistake. You can hear it in my voice. I'm gonna start crying. I'm gonna cry again. I don't know if did you cry immediately?
I cried
because it took me a sec. It took me a sec.
Mine was watching Omega come to terms with it. And like you know, when I was younger, when I was around Omega's age, I guess say 12, 13 or 14, I did have like a parental figure pass away that my mom was very close with. And like it wasn't as tragic as this, obviously, but I felt like that kid again where I was like, what do you even do? And like, you know,
that's
even
your framework for processing
like
this.
the next morning I woke up after this guy died that we were all close with growing up. I'm like, when's he coming back? As a kid, that's all I could figure out was like,
it's hard to process.
It's so weird. So like the way they edit it too is so well done, where the second tech does it, and it's really rare that they do this. Usually you sit with that emotional beat in terms of editing for like a whole minute, but the railcar goes, dude, zoom, it zooms,
dude. When it zooms, I'm like, he's done. There's no, because I think I still had a small bit. I was trying to have a small bit of hope. I was holding on, and I think that's why it took me a second to process it. Because when that rail car, it's brutal and wonderful. It's all this whole thing, man.
Oh my god!
Snaps in and takes off.
And it whizzes.
It goes through the wall. It goes through the wall. It's the next thing.
It's the true. So you've got the emotional shock, then you've got the physical shock, and Omega waking up, and then you see a first-person perspective, which Star Wars never does. You've only seen it from Wrecker so far at this point in the series, and now you've seen it when Wrecker got shot by Cad Bane.
No, that's not Wrecker. You're thinking of
Hunter.
Yeah,
from Cad Bane's perspective. Yeah,
that's exactly where my mind went too. But this was
a child and
slightly different. Oh man,
in and out of consciousness, and like the editing of it, I was like, bruh. And how worried were you that it wasn't just at first? I thought it wasn't just tech. I thought it was tech in someone else. That's what I was struggling with, because I was like, "There's no way they just killed more than one Bad Batch." Because that thing went through the wall.
You're gonna make me cry again.
so
we'll talk about that.
Whenever it happened, I was like, if they killed off Hunter or Wrecker or Echo at this point, I would be so pissed. But the fact that like you hear Hunter, you hear Echo, and then you hear Wrecker, I'm like, thank you God they didn't do it. But like the fact that they're fighting their whole way back into the Havoc Marauder, and then they finally get off, and Star Wars never does the whole fade to black for like a solid 10 seconds. It was just black and noise. My TV was freaking out. I was like, what do we do? And then we can speak about it. So bring up the comment. Sean's comment was the one I wanted to kind of bring up right here.
Here we go.
Oh, I cried when Omega woke up, because that's what messed me up. I was like, no, she has to see it.
I think I started sobbing after, like, it was like when the car started taking off, and it was when Omega she has a first reaction. She has a first reaction there in the car right as it's taking off. I forget exactly what it is. Maybe my brain is trying to protect me right now, but because there's also a moment, again, the dad in me, there's a moment where like they're shooting at the other stormtroopers and all this is going on, and right before Tech does this sacrifice, Wrecker kind of grabs Omega's face gently and pushes her back in. That's a parent thing. 100%. That is very much a pit. Like you got to, and just again, they are very good at putting these little subtle things in there.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Line. When she woke up though, and she's like, "No, he's not back. He could be hurt. He could be hurt. We need to go back." Oh my God. And listen, TW McKay, I love you. I know you said earlier, like maybe the Tech is still alive because they just brought his glasses. I don't think they can technically show the body, because this is not rated R. This is not Final Fantasy. This is. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be like. I don't want to be like. But I don't think there was much. I don't think there was much of Tech left.
Yeah.
Honestly, and that made me even more upset.
Well, the
towards
thing
the
end.
Him.
If you think about it, would have
it is not pretty. And so I think it's absolutely true when he's like, this is all I could recover. Which is brutal.
I hope he's dead for that reason, because not to say I don't like when they bring a character back, but his death would be really hard on all the characters in terms of their arcs and where they can go from here. And so look, at this point, it's the halfway mark of the episode. And like when she wakes up, I'm like, where else could they go? They're like, we're going to go back to Pabu. Do you want to go back to Pabu? That messed me up. When you asked
that was me too, because he's like, listen, listen, our days of being soldiers needs to be done.
It's done.
Like we need to hang it up.
Lost Tech. Yep.
Oh my God,
we're gonna go back to Pabu.
Oh my God. I'm gonna cuss. I want to cuss so bad. Oh my God. That hurt.
God,
that hurt.
that was
I'm gonna make
bad.
you better start crying because I'm telling you, I was sitting there like that's a dad thing too. That's what you want to. Again, I've said this whole season. All that Hunter and them want is a safe place, especially Hunter. It's almost been Hunter's goal this season is a safe place for Omega. And to have them go, like to have him go from we need to help in this to go, this is not, we need to just, let's just go and live a life because we've already paid in full.
Yep.
And you are a kid and you deserve to live the life of a kid.
And you want to have the life of a kid. That was what I was going to say. So you're watching this and you're like, you know, what made me so mad too is like, this one's on me. What did she call Wrecker? What did she call? She calls Wrecker a funny name. What did she call Wrecker? Sid. What does Sid call Wrecker?
Oh, Muscles. Pretty sure.
Muscles.
I think it's just Muscles. Hey, Muscles.
This one's on me. And then, like, the second you realize when Echo's like, our communications have been jammed, I'm like, this bitch.
Dude, this.
Oh my God.
By the way, I can't handle Omega being sad. I can also not handle Wrecker being sad.
Oh, Wrecker with his neck brace?
Wrecker in his adorable neck brace so he doesn't lick himself.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh my God, man.
There's a moment where Wrecker growls whenever Hemlock throws the glasses and is talking about tech. He growls so viscerally. I was with him. I clenched fists that whole time. But we're getting ahead.
No, we're not. We're in a good spot.
But the moment though.
Of what?
Where Sid is kind of telling Wrecker, yeah, you guys kind of brought, she's trying to make it like, you guys brought some heat. I did what I had to do. This honestly, I don't know if I want a Lando moment for Sid. I don't know. I'm kind of, I am so,
the bad guy.
I saw something coming with, we all saw something coming with Sid, especially since that racing episode. And it wasn't that, but it was way more brutal than I thought.
Cool.
That's like someone giving up their Jewish neighbors to the Nazis.
That's exactly how it felt. Exactly what it looked like. It
felt so much like that.
Because and your payment, and she takes it literally, and she goes, "We'll occupy this bar now," and like they'll walk away.
I will say they hit. They don't hit home. They hit every organ. They hit every organ. They're shutting down at this point.
I was watching this just delighted. Like I in terms of like
psychopath. Sorry,
no, not delighted.
I'm joking.
I guess like they tied everything up. Like
yes,
I was wondering how they're gonna tie the Sid stuff up. And like,
it was a well-crafted story.
Yes,
it was. Very well-crafted story. Yes, Andy. Yes, again, Andy and I are both former pastors. So we, recovering. We're recovering pastors. But yeah, no, 30 pieces of silver Judas stuff right there.
That's right. That's what it was. That was the kiss of death.
The way. Oh, when Hemlock walks in and hands, I love that he makes it, or I didn't love this, but like he makes it a show in front of them.
Yeah.
They want to they want to humiliate her and degrade her as well. That's how bad these guys are. And I love that they're doing this. Everything that now happens besides Rebels is like the beginning of the hopeful period of the dark times. Everything we've got up till that point, again, besides Solo and all that kind of stuff too, has been very bleak. Andor and this are very good companion pieces, honestly. Very good companion pieces. I think they complement each other like so well.
When Omega was told to go to the cellar and go through the mines and stuff,
did you think she was with her?
Do you think she had me too? I'm glad that happened. Do you think it was actually to go all the way through? Were you watching going, yes, she's gonna do that? Or are you like, no, she's totally gonna
No, I knew immediately she was gonna go back because it's just that's Omega.
That's who she is.
She I don't know if she has that fighting kind of spirit in her from her genetics and stuff like the rest of them do. I guess she does a little bit.
Yeah.
But man, the way that she got, like, you knew she was going to do it. And I hated that she got there just in time to hear Royce like liquid shit head. I don't even know. Like Royce Hemlock, the mayor of Dicktown, talking about tech.
Yeah.
I hate that she made it there for that, because that was the most brutal. That's the most brutal gloating I've ever seen in a Star Wars.
It's brutal.
The way he goes, what is it, like your friend Tech, right? Oh, I'm sorry, this is all I could salvage.
Yeah, the fact that he knew the code names, instead of like the C2 names or the clone names.
I hate him. I hate him.
Let me ask you this: Did you kind of forget about Crosshair while all this was happening? Because I surely did. I didn't. Crosshair didn't cross my mind once.
He crossed my mind at the beginning, but I once we were on this story, I was like, okay, it looks like that is probably going to happen next season. Or something is what it started to look like. It was, again, they kind of did this last year where we all thought we knew where it was going to go, right? And then they ended up destroying effing Camino.
Then Mount Tantus was revealed at the end of last season, but they didn't really do
and we're
much
like,
with it.
That's where we're going. That's where we're going. The end of the season.
We didn't. It was kind of nice.
In fact, they still don't know where it is.
No, they don't.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Not
Plan
sorry,
88.
but Plan
is that it? Or is it Plan 60? What was the name of that plan for that one?
Plan 99. What are you talking about? Plan 99 was the one that.
No, I don't know. But what was the thing that Crosshair said into the intercom that got him?
Oh, I think it was Plan 88.
Yeah, Plan 88.
What if that's the first episode of next season or something? It probably won't be. It'll be like probably.
They're gonna build to it. They're gonna build.
We're gonna have to. It's gonna be a build. I don't know if it'll be mid-season or the end of the season.
Yeah.
But. Oh man, and I think Andy mentioned it earlier. You've got at the end, and I'm jumping way ahead real quick.
It's okay.
Again, as a father, watching Hunter turn around and look at Omega's room on the ship.
Oh yeah,
and see the stuffed animals.
Yeah,
and fuck, man.
My boy, it's okay. Get it out.
I'm telling you. No, I'm gonna let it. I'm gonna let it out. But I'm trying to prepare myself to actually. I want to actually say audible words. But the line. I'm trying to remember. I think I put it in my notes. Let me see. We are going to get her back. We're going to get her back, and we don't stop searching until we do. I'm gonna listen. Fuck yeah. I'm telling you. I was man, it's brutal, but it was such a good, and again, we're not done. There's still a couple more things to talk about, but it was such a well-crafted season.
Extremely compelling.
So compelling, so much humanity in this show about people. I love that the Clone Wars and this is all about the clones are human, they're actual beings. They're human beings. Man, it's that kind of stuff, man. I mean, it hits really home for me because that's a dad right there, and we all know Omega has like 5 dads. Okay, that's Omega's thing, and I cannot wait for Royce Hemlock to be at the mercy of 5 dads who are mad as hell. Like, I cannot wait for that day.
You've got the maddest one in prison where Hemlock's located. Crosshair is definitely the most
the one who was like kind of like, he's kind of went off and did his own thing for a little while. He was like he's like a very he's like this is, if you've seen Shrinking, he's like the Harrison Ford character on that, where he's like a dad who in his younger days kind of went off and did his own thing, but wants to be a good dad now. That's going to be Crosshair's path. I'm guessing.
So coming up to get into that, obviously Omega gets captured. And like, let's talk about the final 3 twist. Because I would say there was 3. The fact that Omega gets...
Sorry, this is very true. Tech was the most vocal about bringing them in.
So the twist of Omega gets stolen, great twist. Then we meet, and there's what's the name of that Kaminoan?
Nala Se.
So
Omega sees... Sounds like a Michael Jackson song. Sorry.
Nala Se, Nala Sada Nakusa. So Nala Se sees Omega, and Nala Se kind of has a little bit of an emotional reaction. Omega has none. Omega's like, I don't want to be near you. I don't want to be back in this shit. And so she walks in, and then Omega sees Crosshair. And my brain goes, oh my God. But in those tubes, you see weird little figures like this. So I was like,
misshapen bodies. It looked like the ones in the Mandalorian.
Yes.
You see like
the big
ones.
tube? Do you see the big tube in the middle? I was like, oh my God, they could totally do the Zilla Beast. So I'm like, and there's a bunch of clones at the table, being operated on. And so she goes up to that one clone that's Crosshair, and she's like, Crosshair. And like that whole moment. I mean, I'm watching it, I'm like, this is a beautiful, incredible moment. Like, oh my God.
It makes
because they had no relationship to begin with. She was always, he was really never really that fond of her. I think he liked her, but was never fond of her though.
She was always she loved all of them.
Yes.
Because again, she ended up being, as we now know, technically older than them, even though they are fully matured. Guys, don't do the whole weird anyway, there's weird shipping shit that people do that is really inappropriate.
With Nathan, I hope he's dead for the sake of storytelling. I don't want them to come back. I want them to feel the beat of the absence of this character. But,
I literally don't think. Andy mentioned earlier too, like we didn't really see the explosion like we did with Kanan, but I mean, like it's.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think. I think it's just a fine red mist is all we've got left of Tech and his goggles. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be so like crude because it was impactful and I missed. But like, I don't think there's much left. I really don't.
So,
which I mean, we they can clone him or whatever, but
to kind of go back into the whole Crosshair thing, that is going to be my favorite part of next season. That's so compelling. Omega and Crosshair like at the same base together. That is going to be the most compelling aspect of this next season because you've got a character that never wanted to associate with Omega and Omega who wanted nothing but association with Crosshair. And I'm watching this to myself thinking, I'm like, oh my God, like what a better like duality of character than this. I think it's perfection. So
it's perfection. That was the only thing that gave me a bit of solace is that Crosshair is there with Omega in the end. I know it's bad, but it's a little bit of something. There is at least one person there who Crosshair puts on a big show. Crosshair would care about a kid. He really does.
Well, he cared about what was the name of that most recent clone that he had to commander? What was it, Mayfield? Not Mayfield. That's Mayfield's from Mandalorian. What do they call him? What was the character?
Which I'm sorry.
The commander from the outpost.
Oh man. I can't remember.
The clone commander. What was not Mayfield. Mayfield's from Mandalorian. Mayday. Mayfield's for
That's you're talking about
Mayday.
Yeah, Mayday. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he obviously had compassion for Mayday, and I think once he comes to or whatever happens and Omega's there, it's gonna be a beautiful moment. But
it's the beginning of his turn back.
We should maybe not wrap this stream up, but maybe we should wrap on this big idea here. So we knew that there were 5 tubes in Camino. There was a tube for
I'd forgotten about
Crosshair, a tube for Wrecker, a tube for Hunter, and a tube for Tech, and a mysterious 5th tube. And we knew Omega watched them grow up, but I don't know how much extent. How weird was it when that character? And I want to go back and watch like all of his characters' apperances.
I remember listening and hearing I'm like that's a Kiwi accent, a lot like the clones have and everything. But you're just like going, okay, that's just someone with. I guess I didn't realize that it was Michelle Ang voicing that character as well.
How wild was that?
But that is another Omega.
What does that mean?
It's Omega's sister.
Everyone thought Boba Fett would show up at some point. Not yet. They haven't done that blunder.
No.
But this shit, I was blown away. So Omega has an older sister, but I think it's just Omega. No different than it's just, Hunter. Like
it's just an older version of her. And honestly, she looks older than even Boba at this time. Which means probably This is the oldest clone yet.
God, it's
maybe.
so weird.
Crazy stuff.
So
Gen 1 for sure, but maybe the beginning of them, like maybe because obviously Nala Se needed lab assistants and stuff, and so maybe she's like, I'm gonna create these lab assistants,
God,
female because girls get it done.
But what do you think that implies? Like, is she gonna be the 6th member of the Bad Batch? Like,
I
is that
don't.
where we're...
Remember when the other week when I was saying there's something with that clone or with I see clone, there's something with that doctor. I forget which it was the last episode because they lingered on her.
Crosshair. She had such empathy for Crosshair, and I'm thinking why,
and remember I'm just remembering that I said last week that she undid his stuff and he got the stormtroopers. So is she going to be is this going to be someone else that does kind of come back to their side? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's interesting. It's so interesting. There is another.
Dude, what a magic moment to end the whole season on. It wasn't like a visual, reveal or a visual cliffhanger. It was a literal word for word, it was a
I'm your sister.
Cut. And I was like, that's like No, I Am Your Father.
Jaw on the floor. Floor.
God.
I mean, I'm telling you, and look, we don't all have to like the same things.
No.
We don't all have to if Bad Batch isn't your cup of tea. We got our good friend Mikey McBoy, not a big Bad Batch fan, and Trey. Yeah. But I feel like it's the best Star Wars animation we've had, honestly, in a long time.
In terms of coherent,
great storytelling,
and one central, and there's nothing ever deviated. You know what I mean? There was nothing ever odd. I don't know.
Everything kind of came back around towards it. At the end, I mean, and Star Wars animation always does that. People go on and on about filler every time a new show comes out.
Yeah.
But it all kind of deviates back. Even if it doesn't, just let it happen. That's the nature of television. I don't know if you watched TV back when it was on cable. There was so much filler. You had to fill so many episodes, but we just listen. A tight 16. We have a little bit of fun. I mean, it's perfect. But yeah. I don't know. This Bad Batch has taken myself on a journey.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I identify with it because again, I am a girl dad. It is basically girl dad Star Wars is what this is. It's 5 girl dads. And we've said before, it's Full House in Nazi Germany. But it's just, I don't know, man. I'm babbling now. Please give your thoughts. Please give your thoughts.
I'm ready to see when the next season comes in and what they even manage to do with the next season. Because
what do you think we get at Celebration, if anything?
At least a confirmation that they're maybe some story beats. What they're going to deal with next.
Yeah. Do you think they'll end with season 3? I want them to keep going, but honestly, with the way that this ended today, this feels like their Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, if it wraps up next season, I mean, so be it. But to me, when you watch a show this good, you only want it to remain this good. You know what I mean? Not that it's going to get bad.
Absolutely.
But if they tell their complete story, then wrap it up. That's fine with me. You did something that most Star Wars hasn't had the opportunity to do for so many reasons, and now you can finally Clone Wars. It took literally 10 years for us to get the actual finale of Clone Wars.
Right.
Not 6 years. But really though, Rebels wasn't cut short. Rebels was the first one with an actual ending. But even then it was we got dropped with a giant cliffhanger of Ezra going off into who knows where. This is the story that could actually wrap up and wrap itself up. I don't know. I honestly could watch this show forever.
Same.
Look at this. And I'm so sad to know we won't have that character to the left anymore. That really is it's weird.
It's so brutal.
It's so brutal.
It is so effing brutal. I can't. Oh man, I don't even. I don't even know what to do with myself, man. It's weird.
It's weird.
It's weird. But yeah, again, like you said, I love this show too. I want it to keep going. I want it to show the slow burn rise of the empire, which is what we had last time. And I mean, it's become a very deeply personal story.
Yeah. Way more
for
than I
the
thought it would be.
characters. Way more
than I thought it would be. It's been so compelling.
I mean, if they want to end it next season, and it's like, honestly, whatever they want, just whatever the story needs, do that.
Yep.
Because it has just been gangbusters this whole time. So
entire time.
Yeah.
And obviously being able to recap with you has meant a lot to me, because this is a show that you and I
this
really
is
bonded
right
over.
Here.
You and I love animation, I think, more than most content creators do. Not saying that you should or shouldn't, but like we bonded over the Bad Batch channel. We watched this panel together at Celebration. I'm sad we're missing out.
We got to be there when we saw the return of Gunji. Oh man, beautiful.
And Palpatine, and like, even when this season started, I had no idea it would end up here. So really good story, really good writing. Jennifer Corbett and Brad Rao, I mean, like, they may be like the next step in Star Wars animation. Dave is obviously taking over a lot more stuff, but if they want to do their own original story without like Dave's input, they could kill it. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have to have a Dave Filoni character anymore, because they prove that they can take these Dave Filoni characters to a different level. You know?
No, absolutely. And I've been thinking that the storytelling in this is, it's like top tier Clone Wars, but even a step beyond. It's so almost prestige drama at some points, you know, and it's just it feels just as impactful as Andor. It's just as fun as Mando. But it's, I don't know, man. It's I wish that more people gave this a chance, but I understand, again, like, you know, like, it's whatever. But obviously, I think they're still continuing. I don't think they're going to cancel this at all.
No.
But no, Brad Rao, Jennifer Corbett, the whole team, everyone, Michelle Yang, like like all of it, just absolutely incredible. I've loved doing this with you.
This has been so spectacular.
It's been great. We've pissed off the Gen Xers with our verticalness. We listen. We like to stand up straight when we podcast and YouTube. So
damn it.
Yeah. No, man, I can't wait to cry again in the next season.
I love you, and I'm glad we can share these moments together, because this is a real good. This really is just a great show. Even if it wasn't Star Wars, it's just a great show in general. But yeah, I'm looking forward to more adventures, and you know, I'm kind of happy. Not to say it won't be wacky, but like, there's some things that I'm excited to see kind of go away. Like, they won't have the A team besides Wrecker being the big guy. Like, that point, like, Echo will have to take over Tech's role. They'll each have to take over Tech's role. And even if you have a moment where like Echo has to go back with Rex, I mean, you could just see adventures of Hunter and Wrecker, and that'll be heartbreaking, because they work well together, and you saw a lot of that this season.
Yeah,
but, man,
it's gonna be so heartbreaking. They're like, when it was just them at Sid's, I was sad. I was really sad. Like, it's
not right.
It's brutal, and I think that Star Wars should be turned in for emotional damages, because I had to go to work after watching this. You had to too.
God. I had to teach kids convection currents.
Scotty sat and cried with his future father-in-law today because of Star Wars. So,
well, and I guess we could spoil Mando. I think everyone watching this probably watched Mando after getting our favorite Lasat, you know.
Oh my God,
Mando! I was
the highest high, man. Highest high. And also that, listen, we're gonna talk about it tomorrow, but that music when they are like at it feels like it feels like one of those like military bases, like a real world, like, you know,
like Top
Air
Gun
Force base or something. Yeah, you know, get the rounded buildings and everything. But the
so good.
Like
the day. Did you notice the Dave Filoni?
I can't
cameo?
wait. I can't wait to talk. Yeah, I can't wait to talk
good.
about that tomorrow, though. But
I
yeah,
can't wait.
I was freaking. I've every time that I've thought about Tech's death, horrible, brutal death, and all of the depression that comes with Bad Batch that I love.
Yeah.
I will see a picture of our boy, purple boy, purple guy, Mando girl. I'll see a picture of purple guy, and it's a serotonin boost. And so
through and through.
Keep sharing those with spoiler tags and mask that shit. Mask it.
Shit.
Like, be kind. Rewind.
Everyone, real quick. Look forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna have on Boop,
thank you, Sean,
J-Dub, and Connor, all here to talk about our wonderful experience with the Mandalorian and what's to come next week. I mean, I don't know. Next week, by the way, we can plug this very excitedly.
Glad you showed up.
Next week, I'm super excited. Next week, we're gonna be doing Bombadcast live in person for the very first time.
Oh, we're gonna have guys,
we're gonna
you don't know. You don't know what you're in for. Next week is going to be a bevy of goons on the couch. It's going to be. Oh man,
you got me and Jerry.
Do we have
Bill Sheehy.
Do we have the thumb in here?
I don't have. Well, it won't show well on this.
Well, it's the wrong format for that.
We'll show it tomorrow. So everyone tune in tomorrow. But Jerry, thank you. We did Bad Batch. Maybe we'll do some horizontal live streams to appease the Zoomers. But that being said, I love you. I'm glad we could do this. And,
I love you too.
Jerry, you do the honor of giving us a good Stay Bombad. We'll wrap this mug up.
All right, listen, guys, have fun crying into a tub of ice cream you're eating on your own tonight, and stay bombad.